Hello, my name is Yonis. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an attractive banner, first of all, and how to basically construct the body in such a way that is consistent, the content will be consistent. For example, we're going to have a header, we're going to have the main section of the web page, and then we're going to have a footer. To get started, we are going to generate a new picture. So let's maximize this window. I'm going to use a free tool called Photopea, which is similar to Photoshop. So I'm going to create a new project. And here I have some presets. So Facebook page cover is quite decent size there, so we can stick to that. And you can actually select one of the presets here. It's up to you. Just going to select that one here. I'm going to select the background layer, and I can actually click on this rectangle tool, and now we'll be able to change the color to any color of my choice. So if I click here on this section, I will be able to actually select a different color. Now, in order for us to have this, we can click and drag this to the trash can. We can actually create a new layer. Oops. Let's select here, and then let's create a new layer. I'm going to click and drag the new layer below it, so it's at the bottom. With the rectangle tool selected, I can actually click and drag a rectangle. It doesn't really matter if it goes outside the section here. And you can actually go to the fill, select the color of your choice, select the shade of your choice, and then let's click OK. So here we have the border bottom here, we have the dots. So if I click on the little eye icon here, I can hide them or I can show them. If you don't like the dots, if you like the dots, you can always select each dot individually and basically change the color to something else. Let's go here. Okay, these are the dots here. So that one doesn't mean anything, so we can hide it if you're not sure which one is which. Can you see here? These don't mean anything, so we can hide them. Okay, so these are the valid dots here. The invalid dots, we can always delete them. Click and drag them to the trash can here. Or you can right click and select delete. Another way to do it. So let's select the options here. That's the green. That's the purple. Let's change that to okay, so I'm happy with the dots here, so I can collapse that. If you don't want them, you can always right click and select delete. So here's the hello world. I'm just going to type Ionis website. And here I'm going to double click on the little T again. And I'm just going to put, what a beautiful day. Why no? So I'm going to leave this as it is. If you want to change the size of the text, if you select the text and with the text selection, this is the text tool selected, and select the text layer, you could actually drop down the list here and you can actually increase or reduce the font size. You can also change the text to bold or light, or you can even change the font style as well. You can change the alignment here as well, and you can change the font color as well. Let's select that one here. Now, if you can't remember the color, you can always click on the color of the text here, or this color, or this color. You can pick up a color of your choice. You can play around. I'll stick with that one. So, for the background color here, what I can do, if I select the rectangle tool, because this shape is a rectangle, we'll be able to go to fill and change the fill to gradient. And I'm going to double click here, and now I'm going to double click on the color palette here, and I can change the color to this color here, and I can click below it, right below it, to add a new sachet. I can double click that here and change the color to something else. And I can click and drag the sachet to the side. And you can change, so we can change it to noise if you like, or we can leave it normal. Let's go back the way I had it before, because I was quite happy that way. So I'm going to add, you can add as many sachets as you like, and you can change the color as many times as you like. And if you're not happy with the sachet, like that one here, you can click and drag it downwards to delete it. Let's delete that. So I'm quite happy with this sachet. I'm gonna left click right next to it. Now I'm gonna click and drag it here to the other side. Let's click OK. Now the font doesn't stand out quite a lot, so I can always double click here on the text, but here on the side, to generate the layer window, the layer style window. And I'm just gonna drop a stroke here. So I'm gonna click here on the side of the stroke, and I can actually customize my stroke. I can change the color of my stroke to maybe something a bit darker there. You can always put bevel as well if you like. You can play around with the settings. There's lots of other options here. You can apply outer glow as well. So let's change the color to something like that. Let's make it a bit darker. And let's apply, instead of screen, we're going to set it to normal. And let's apply noise. Let's spread a little bit. Let's change the size a little bit. That will do. Now it stands out. You can apply now this style. So I can right click, copy layer styles, and then copy layer style. I can go to my border bottom, this little dot here. I can right click and select layer style and select paste layer style. And I've got all the styles I have applied on this text here. So I'm happy with my banner. I can go to File and select Save as PSD. And I'm just going to save it on a new folder here. Let's go to Downloads. I'm just going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it Website Images. As you can see, I have not put spaces. I use capital letters to separate the words. And I'm just going to call this banner. Let's click Save. And now I'm going to go to File, select Export As. I'm going to select JPEG. Leave the size here. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna click and drag here this there. Okay, so now I've got my banner. Let's zoom in a bit. I've got my PSD, the original, so I can edit this another day further, and I've got my actual banner. So now I've got this in place. I'm gonna go back to my server. Let's close this page. And to make sure that I've got all my images nice and tidy, I'm gonna create a new folder, and I'm gonna call this folder images. As you can see, I have put all in lowercase images. Let's zoom out a bit. This picture, I no longer need this picture, so I can delete that. And this index 2, I don't really need this as well. This can go as well. Okay. And these files for your website should be uploaded here. I can delete that as well. So I've got my index page and my images folder. I'm going to click on my images folder now, and I'm going to click on this option here to upload a file. And it's the banner. So the banner is, I'll spell it with capital B. So let's rename this. Best of always put lowercase letters. Okay. And now I can actually go back to my, let's go one step back to HD docs. I'm going to edit my index.html. And here, instead of this image here, the first thing I need to specify is the directory, which is the folder called images, and then / and I call it banner.jpg. If I click save now, let's put this on the side. Let's minimize this one, and I refresh the page. Now, as you can see, I've got my banner, the banner I just created before. Okay, so the header can go below the banner, so I can actually cut this from here, press the enter key here, and then press Ctrl V. So if I save this now and refresh, so I've got my banner at the top, and then I've got my header and a paragraph. The next thing we need to do is basically sort out the settings here for the header. So I'm just gonna put above the banner, I'm gonna create a new tag, and I'm gonna call this header. And then I'm gonna close the header tag. So here will be my main menu. Here I'm gonna add the menu. After the menu, the banner will follow. And then after the banner, I'm going to have the main tag, which basically will have the main content of the website, which is that one here, the paragraph and the header and anything else. I'm just going to close the main tag. And now I'm going to create the footer tag. And then I'm going to close the footer tag. Okay. Within my footer tag, I'm going to say copyright protected by ION. You can go to the web and you can type HTML, copyright symbol. Let's see, that's the one. And copy, semicolon. Don't want to type it, just copy and paste it. And then I'm going to put 2024. Let's save this. Let's refresh the page and we can have this. So what I need to have is this footer. This is the footer. I want the footer to go at the very bottom of the page. So the next thing we need to do is apply some styles here. So I'm gonna, after my first p tag, okay, I'm gonna create a new style here, and I'm gonna call this style body. And then within curly brackets, I'm going to apply the style. So I'm going to say display colon grid semicolon. We'll say grid hyphen template hyphen rows, and I'll say auto 1fr auto semicolon my statement min high colon 100 VH, and then the margin will be 0. Okay, so I've done my body style, so anything to do with the body tag here, this style will be applied. The next thing I need to do is basically create the footer style. Oops, let's close the curly bracket there. So my footer style, I will say background, and then I can say gray, or let's say let's put a hexadecimal code for gray, so I will say CC, 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 and I'm gonna put color of the text. In fact, CC is quite light gray, so let's make it 999999, and the color for my text will be white. So this hexadecimal, it's going to be FF, or you can just type the word white, or you can type the word gray, and then I'm going to say padding, and I will say 1 rem. So if I save this now and I click refresh, as you can see now my footer is always stays at the bottom. And then if there is no more, obviously everything disappears. But as I expand, it's always at the bottom. Now the problem I've got here is my text is applied at the bottom here, so I need to change this. Oops. So I'm going to do this by here padding for the header. Let's put bottom. Let's put about 200 pixels. Semicolon to my statement. Let's save this. Let's refresh. We need to double that. Let's change that to 400 pixels. Refresh the page. Okay, that's good. So we can have the same thing. We can apply the same thing for the paragraph. So if we copy this and Control V to paste, as you can see here, because we have applied padding, let's change the padding to margin. Let's see what will happen here. Let's change that to margin. And refresh. Let's remove the margin from the header, because my first tag, p tag, is below the header, so when we push in the p tag, the header also will be pushed. Let's refresh the page, and now we achieve that. Now maximize this page. Okay, the banner is well too big, so we can customize this through CSS as well in the future. Okay, so different positions, yeah, different screen resolutions will basically adjust, and we can actually customize this as we go along. Okay, in this video tutorial we've learned how to create a nice attractive banner, if you call this attractive banner. We also learned how to basically construct our web page in such a way that we have the main content, we have the header, which we're going to follow in the next video tutorial to generate the menu, and then we have a footer that is always available, is always at the bottom. Hope you learned something new today. I hope you will be able to apply these new skills to create nice websites. Thank you for now. Bye.